Good morning and happy Friday, everybody. We have made it to the end of the week. I remember when we all first started working at home and I started this show, it was like, okay, we're week 1 of lockdown, we're week 2, we're week 3, and I've lost count of the weeks now. But we've done it. We've made it through another week. If you are new here, my name is Ivana. If you are not new, thank you for coming back. And today we're going to end the week talking about something that I know is on so many people's minds, and that is working parents who are having to now face a reality where their children often are having to either full-time or part-time work on school virtually and work on school at home or in another facility on their computer, their laptop, etc. And working parents, I know, are all struggling with figuring out, how is this going to work for me? How am I logistically going to do this? So today we are joined by UAB Office of the President Project Director, Emily Weichel, and she is here to talk about childcare options that UAB is offering for its employees and even some student parents as well. So if you are not familiar, UAB is one of Alabama's largest employers, and that means that many people are eligible for these childcare options. So Emily, let's talk first about some of the options that are being provided for full-time employees on the campus, in the hospital, et cetera. And then we'll talk about some of the other options and take some questions.
Great. Well, I do think it's important, campus-wide, we have had such an amazing response. I mean, UAB has been on the front line of this pandemic. Obviously in terms of patient care, but also in terms of research and community outreach and testing and tracing. And so all of those employees have different schedules, have different needs in terms of childcare. And so we knew it wouldn't be sort of a one-size-fits-all solution for all of our employees. For those who have to work on campus, whether they're in a clinical setting or are environmental services workers, we have partnered with the McWane Center to reserve up to 100 slots for UAB employees' children. And so those slots are subsidized to make sure that they're affordable for all of our UAB families that want to access them. And it's full-time, 7:30 to 5:30, 5 days a week. And students can come and bring their virtual learning and complete their virtual learning while they're there, but then also get some great STEM enrichment opportunities and all of the great offerings that we all appreciate from the McWane Center.
The McWane Center is still fun for me as a grown adult to go and to do. So I can imagine that the students and the kids that are going there are it's fun, I would imagine, to do school in a location like that rather than at your dining room table or in your parents' office. So we talk about the parents that need that full-time care, that can take their child, grades, I believe, K through 8, to McWane Center and have that 7:30 to 5:30, I believe you said, childcare and schooling. Now, what does a parent need to do to enroll in that program? And is that only open to people that are maybe professors or doctors, or what kind of employees from UAB are open to use that program?
So we're really targeting this for all employees, but particularly those employees who might not be able to afford another option. So as I said, there's subsidies available. UAB is paying the cost of the slots, and then parents can essentially pay what they can based on a sliding scale of their salary. And so we're really excited that this opportunity is available to all of our employees and not just those who might be on the sort of higher end of the income spectrum. To your point about it being a fun program, the thing that's been great with McWane is they offer these kinds of programs in the summer. And I think a lot of our employees take advantage of their summer programming for school age kids. And so they were able to really quickly pivot, the word of 2020, into offering this as a school year program for children that are enrolled in schools that aren't operating full-time right now. We conducted a survey this summer of our parent employees and found out that most UAB parents have children that are enrolled in Birmingham City schools or Jefferson County schools. And so those are the ones that aren't able to operate in person right now. And so it was really important to us that we be able to sort of support our employees and give them another option, because we know that they're working really hard at home and working really hard at work, and we just wanted to give them this kind of support.
Now, if this parent brings their child to the full-time program at McWane, what do they need to bring? And can they expect for their student to get academic help? Maybe not necessarily tutoring, but if they have a question about their assignment, is McWane prepared to answer that and to help?
Yeah, so they have trained staff that are available. And just to make sure I answered your question, there is an application process that parents need to complete to get admitted into the program, and some traditional paperwork and waiver kind of information. All children have to bring masks, and then they also need to bring a device if they're going to be completing online virtual learning. The staff there are trained to provide oversight and basic help. I mean, they're not going to be probably giving you algebra tutoring, but basic sort of tech support and homework support is available.
Well, I couldn't give algebra tutoring if I tried.
Yeah.
So I think most of these kids are probably way ahead of some of the academics that I was doing much higher on. So that sounds so interesting. I'd love to hear from a parent. If you have enrolled your student in one of these programs, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your experience. But that's the full-time program. Emily, let's talk about the part-time program or the drop-in program.
Yeah, so the other thing that we learned through that survey I mentioned is that we have a huge amount of campus employees who are good at working from home. They've found it to be effective. They're able to have impact, whether that's whatever capacity they're working in. They can do it from home for the most part. But a lot of those same folks do need to come to campus occasionally. So they might need to come and meet with a student or teach a class or spend some time in their lab, or just have some sort of uninterrupted work time that we working parents know is so valuable. And so what we did there is we have the Hilton at UAB, which is right in the heart of campus, and isn't operating right now. It's not full of guests from out of town at the moment. And so we were able to get some of their event space and offer a drop-in program where parents can leave their children in a safe, supervised environment for a few hours a day and take care of whatever they need to do business-wise on campus. And the thing that's been really, really cool and exciting about that is that we are staffing it with UAB students who are in the School of Education or the School of Nursing, who really have a heart for this work and are trained and equipped to provide the kind of support that parents want for their students who are working on these virtual assignments.
Now, I know you said that this is designed especially for people that need to come to campus, need to have some work time on campus or on other parts of the campus during the day for this drop-in program. But what about the parents who are UAB employees and who want to use this part-time service, but don't necessarily need to come to campus to do anything? They just need a little bit of a break.
Yeah, no, it's fine to use for anything. We had a parent drop off the other day and run to the grocery store. I mean, we get that. There's things that you need to do that are better, particularly during a pandemic, to do without your kids in tow. And so that's available for them too. There is a small fee. So it's $15 for 3.5 hours for the session. Parents reserve their slot online. And again, accessibility is really important to us. And so for students or staff or employees who $15 is a little bit out of their price range, we do have a sliding scale available to make this really affordable. It's meant to be, in many ways, a thank you to our faculty and staff who have worked so hard during this pandemic. It was important to our leadership and to President Watts to really demonstrate, we've got your back on this.
And does this go as well for UAB employees who maybe don't work out of the Birmingham campus or out of the offices that maybe work at some of the other UAB affiliated campuses?
Yep. Anybody with a Blazer ID is able to register on the system.
So we talk about staff, faculty. What about our student parents? We know that there are plenty of students who are parents to little ones or to school-age children. So what kind of options do those students have? Many students we know are going through their own virtual classes, or maybe they have to come on campus to go to an in-person class or lab.
So the drop-in program is available to students as well. And we've really tried to look at the class schedules when we set the timing that the drop-in slots are available. So we hope that students are taking advantage of this as well. The other thing that I'll mention, we have a grant called Childcare Access Means Parents in Schools. That's a federal grant that provides subsidized childcare for parents who are trying to get their degree. And so that's a resource that's available to student parents as well.
Now, we talk about how great these options are. I think there's a cloud coming over me here. But we talk about all these resources. How have you seen, or how has the university seen these programs being used? I know at least the drop-in started on August the 31st. So you've had not too long of these programs being open, but what's the utilization like right now?
So both programs, the McWane program and the drop-in program at the Hilton, started on the 31st. And we're not at total capacity yet. So there is room. So I would encourage your viewers to sign up. I think we're going to put the link in the chat. The thing that we've seen, so Birmingham City and Jefferson County have not started their virtual curriculums yet. And so I know for a lot of parents, they're trying to sort of get their feet under them and get an understanding of what will the virtual school day look like for their children before they put them into these sorts of programs. So we're expecting after the Labor Day that we'll probably fill up. And we've got space for several hundred students at the Hilton, and then, like I said, close to 100 at McWane Center as well.
Do you anticipate getting to capacity?
Yeah, I think that's going to be, part of this is such a wait and see with the school district. So I know, this isn't just a UAB program. I know that the Birmingham Education Foundation, Birmingham Strong, the city, the school district have been looking at what other options are available. But a lot of school districts are flexing and making last minute decisions, right? So we are just thinking about this as a really short-term thing for right now. We've committed to doing this for the next 9 weeks, and then we're going to reassess based on capacity. But, you can see a world in which, there's already local school districts that have said, we were going to be staggered, we were going to be part-time in person, but now we're going back full-time. So I think for everybody, it's kind of a wait and see game, and just look at what's in front of us right now and what can we do given kind of the cards on the table.
I know you say that right now you're planning to keep these programs operational for the first 9 weeks of the school year. We don't, like you said, we don't know what's going to happen. If schools move to doing virtual for maybe the rest of the semester, or if more schools decide to go virtual, well, number one, do you think those programs will be able to continue? And number two, do you think there is room to add more programs if you get to capacity and if there is a need?
Well, I think it depends on what the community spread looks like, obviously. If we got to a situation in which all schools got shut down, this would not be an option, right? So we're trying to, and that's where I'll make a plug for, we know there was a spike after Memorial Day and after the 4th of July. And so we're really hoping that our students and faculty and staff and community members can stay home if at all possible this weekend, wear masks, do social distancing, all that stuff, so that we can keep kids in schools as much as possible and keep offering these kind of in-person virtual options for parents that have to work.
Do you think that, I know you said that the children and the students will say who are attending these camps, they are asked to wear masks. Are they, allowed to have kind of that social interaction that we have heard so many people saying that they believe their kids need?
Yeah, that's one of the things I know that if you go to our resources page, there's a link to the Child Mind Institute, and there's a lot of information there about how you can encourage social connection and social interaction while still maintaining 6 feet separation and mask wearing in children. And so, like, I can speak to at the drop-in program, they're set up at tables so that they're across from another student, but they're 6 feet apart. But you will see them, talking with each other and chatting and interacting, and certainly interacting with the staff members as well. And so we know that social connection piece is so important and want to encourage it wherever possible. The other thing I'll mention is that we have a partnership with the School of Nursing. They have students who need to get exposure to well children and to learn how to interact and provide educational opportunities with well children. And so they're coming to the drop-in center as well, all in full PPE, but to interact and talk to the kids about what are COVID symptoms. For a kindergartner, it can be kind of confusing. If you have a runny nose, does that mean that you need to get tested for COVID? It's confusing to parents. So providing that health education that a lot of those kids would be getting if they were in school has been a really exciting partnership, and just a great example of kind of UAB bringing everybody to the table.
And I'm sure that that's so beneficial for those students as well. You talk about, symptoms, and if a child has a runny nose, which we know is so common in our little ones, what are you asking for? What is the program asking for in terms of when you can and can't bring a child to the program? Do kids need to be tested before they are accepted, or how is that regulation working?
So we're asking parents to complete the UAB symptom checker so that they know, the kids are symptom free when they come in. And then we're also taking their temperatures. And those are sort of standard practices that I think a lot of school districts are using right now. The other thing I'll just say is, UAB came back to campus. All of our college students came back to campus on the 24th, and a huge amount of work and effort and research went into figuring out how to do that safely in terms of testing and symptom checking and social distancing and all of that. And so I think what's been really helpful here is that we could draw on all of that body of knowledge about how to do it well and apply it to the hub at the Hilton so that we know that the kids are getting all the same protections that our college students are getting.
And I'm sure there are some people that are wondering if they're planning to bring their kid to these programs. Are there some of those college students, besides the nursing students that are in their PPE, are there other college students or other people that will be there and could be interacting with the kids, or how will the kids be exposed to other people?
So the way that the drop-in program is organized is that children are assigned to pods based on their grade. So each child will be in a pod of 6 to 8 kids, depending on, so the kindergartners only have 6 and the 8th graders might have up to 8. And then that pod is assigned to a dedicated employee. So that would be a student employee. So they only have direct interaction with one student. And our students are doing everything the rest of us are in terms of participating in sentinel testing, participating in daily symptom checks, and then they're wearing masks as well. So we're really finding ways to limit the exposure, but still have some of that small group attention that kids at this age really need.
And is that the same situation at the McWane Center for that full-time program with the temperature checks?
Yes, they're using the same practices as well.
So I know we have left the link for some more information if you need it on the programs that Emily's talking about. It is at the top of this comment thread, but it is uab.edu and it's the link after that. So Emily, can you just tell parents if they are watching and want to get involved at these programs, what they need to do?
Yeah, so I would say the best thing to do if you're a UAB employee and you're interested in any sort of support around childcare during the pandemic is go to that link. For the McWane Center, there's an application that you have to complete, and then we'll let you know what subsidy you're available for. And students can start as soon as next Tuesday. For the people that are interested in the drop-in program, there's an application that you fill out as well, just to provide information about your child's health and emergency contact information and all of that. And then there's a registration form that you can fill out to say, I want to bring my kid next Tuesday morning and next Friday afternoon or whatever it is. And then we email you to confirm your reservation slots. The other thing that's on that website, one of the things that we've heard from a lot of parents is we've been really focused on how we support children at sort of the K-8 level, because those are the kids that, their parents were expecting them to be in school and now they're not. But we realized that childcare centers in general are operating at reduced capacity due to the pandemic. And so some of the, 0 to 5 childcare centers, people might be feeling stretched and not have the same options available as well. And so on that website, there's information about, there's a link to Childcare Resources, Inc., which has a up-to-date list of who all has openings. And then there's other options for preschool age children that might be helpful to our employees.
Awesome. And what about student parents? Is that the same link they should click as well?
Yes. So all of the resources listed there are available to student parents. And we also have a student parent support group that I would encourage anyone to get involved in if they haven't already.
Awesome. Emily, thank you so much for coming, explaining this a little bit to us and giving some of these options for working parents who may be feeling overwhelmed and just need a little bit of a break, need a little bit of help. We appreciate it so much. And if you have any questions for our viewers, please let me know. I will get them to Emily if I can't answer them, and we will make sure you get the answers you're looking for. So thank you all so much for watching. I would say we'd see you Monday, but Monday is Labor Day, and we will see you on Tuesday.